on, everybody? That camera guy here. I'm live. Let's see. We're live on YouTube. Open YouTube Studio in your browser. That's right. Perfect. We are live. Let's see if I can hear everything. All right. I'll wait for a few people to get here. What's going on, Drew? What's going on, buddy? So here's the setup. I got it here. This is my YOLO Box Pro. That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. But here's my YOLO Box Pro. Here's my YOLO deck. This is just a wireless HDMI receiver, as you can see right there by the RX. I don't have any actual live footage going to this, but I'm just going to show you guys what I got going on, especially with this new piece of equipment, the YOLO deck. It's just like you see here, the Stream Deck, which I use for hotkeys on my computer. How does it sound, Drew? Does it sound pretty good? How's the video quality? I'm also, since these glasses stream in vertical, I'm also doing as you can see here, a vertical. So what we would do is we would enter so here's the big screen on what I see. So say we're, like for this Sunday, I have one scheduled for this Sunday's practice. And this is everything that I set up here with the YOLO box and the YOLO deck. These are all my sources here. I'm not going to connect anything yet. So we will go straight to here, and then I don't actually have to go full screen due to the fact that I have it here on the out, program out. So I have this set up for my two HDMI sources at this point if I had them coming in. One camera would be here, the other one would be here. Then I set up my special sources right in here in my scenes. So right now what we have is the double. I also have this one made. Basically it'll be a two screen, but it'll switch to the same thing. But rather than the second camera, it says, you know, the thanks for tuning in. You can go to a single source. You can go straight to the camera 1, camera 2. You can't really see it, but yeah, it's pretty easy. I got this set up real nice. That right there, it's pretty sick. But I wish it would transition away like it transitioned in. It's one thing that it doesn't when you're using web graphics. So it's pretty easy. Something happens, like say somebody breaks their arm, boom, be right back. Hit the be right back button. That's it. Super easy. Touch it. Before the stream starts, I got the TCG logo on a countdown with also a countdown timer. So you'd activate the logo first, then the timer. And as you can see here, the timer is counting down, but there's also a countdown on here. So you see the difference? My logo is up there for, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds after this will disappear. So what will happen is you'll see the countdown go away when it goes to 0. And then once the countdown, and about 4 seconds later, it'll transition over to the main source. I've got my capture replays I have set down here. This is to replay the replay. This is to stop the replay. You've got page 2. So this is where my background music I have set. This is where you'll switch. Come on. Switch. There you go. Switches like so. Here, I'll give you a better visual. Play the music, it starts to play. As you can see, it's on there. You could switch it. Got shuffle. You can pause, play from the YOLO deck. You can turn it up and turn it down. Goes up by 5s. You can also set the hotkeys for everything. It's pretty sick. If you go to the volume, I've also have program volume right here and here, so you'll be able to see the program volume go up or down. It's just to make life a little bit easier when I do these live streams. If I ever have to walk away from this, somebody doesn't have to be overwhelmed and be like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? You know, they're fumbling through stuff trying to get to the be right back. Don't worry about that. I got this set. Just hit the be right back. That's it. Something goes wrong, hit the be right back. That's it. So like Mr. Oliver, if he was here, I'd be telling him, this is the button you hit, sweet cheeks. Be right back. That's really it. I really ain't got nothing else. Nobody's really here to ask questions. If somebody was here, I'd be more than happy to do anything that you would like to try out. If you're thinking about getting a YOLO Box Pro or something better, you know what I mean? They all work almost the same workflow wise, but you've got the Ultra, which is one step up from this, and then you've got the Extreme, which is one step up from that. Now the Extreme is extreme. It has 8 HDMI inputs. So the last 4 inputs, 5 through 8 on that Extreme are the 4K, and the rest are 1080 at 60. 1 through 4, 1080 at 60. Here on the YOLO Box Pro, HDMI 1 is the only source that's 1080 at 60. Anything that goes into any of these 2 sources right here, HDMI 2 and HDMI 3, they are 1080 at 30. But it's all upscaled through here in is it in encoding settings? Yes. Encoding settings. Right here, I got my resolution set to stream at 1080 at 60. I stream 1080 at 60 at 8,000 kilobits per second, and my frames are always 60 frames. And my encoder, I always keep it to CBR, not a variable. Which means it tries to keep it at that set kilobit rating that I'm streaming at, rather than a variable bit rate. Places like YouTube like to know exactly what you're giving them. So like right now it's saying that my stream's current bit rate is that, as you can see there, is higher than the recommended bit rate. We recommend you use a streaming bit rate of 2,500 kilobits per second. But that's on this bad boy. Probably wasn't the smartest thing to show that on. So let's see. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. What's going on, sup, dog? Can you imagine we could bring this up to the Providence of Canada? Give you some pretty sick streams. Oh no! But yeah, so let's see. You can go into the settings, into the YOLO box all the way down here, YOLO deck configure. This is where you would put everything. So these are going to be all your set sources here. So that's your video sources. These are your overlays. This is what they just set, but you have up to 10 video sources. So I can have 5 video sources here and 5 more here. But right now I only got 5 sources set. But if you look, I have 6 down here. But this is where you would set them. And you got to remember, where you add them on the main screen is how they set up here. So if you're going to have 3 camera sources, don't set up any scenes until you at least plug in 3 camera sources. So it'll generate the third one right here. Once you have your 3 sources there, then start building the scenes you want. The first one, say it's going to be a single source. That would be this one. Be a single source. You'd want to set that one up first so it's not here on the first for source 2. So they all go in line. That's why you set them up as you want them. So as you set them up here, that's how they're going to show up on here. Otherwise, you're going to have to go into the YOLO deck, and then you're going to have to figure it all out. And then figure out, okay, well, which ones do I have first over here? Well, I have a 2 source as my first. I built that before I even plugged in cameras. Well, it's a stupid idea, but poof, it's going to be here in source 1. So it'll be over here. Just set them up as you want it for your actual workflow. But basically, it's endless here, man. You can put a bunch of stuff. You can have endless pages, just like the Stream Deck. Boom, there's 3, there's 4. Doesn't really matter. And you just hit minus and take it away. Well, since this is the YOLO Box Pro, it can only take in a total of 4 sources. 3 HDMI sources, which are here, 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 USB type camera that normally you would pop up somewhere to, I don't know, either be on me or whoever you got doing your announcing type deal. So, yeah. But since I'm using the YOLO deck, I'm stuck with 3 sources because I'm occupying that USB right here for the YOLO deck. But you can get away with that by easily... Ow, fuck! That hurt. Let's see, we got a switcher right here. I got a whole whole nother switcher right here. And that's when these things come into play. See this fancy switcher? This bad boy is a tank. So you can set all four and everything up into here, anything that you want, your backgrounds, your music, your audio, your transition bar, everything you can set up in here. You can even stream from this, RTMP stream. I choose not to because this is slightly glitchy. So what I'll do is if I got, more sources than the YOLO box can handle, what I'll do is I'll put everything into this. And once I have everything into this, it has a built-in, this is where your 4 HDMIs come in, and then you've got one out. That one out, I would take out and put right into here. And I've done that before. So you can use the YOLO box as nothing but a streaming tool, but that takes all this out of the equation. So that's what I used to do before this got the big update. Before this got a big update, you couldn't do a real quad box. Quad box meaning 4 sources. On the screen it would be cut into 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. But with this big update, you can do that now just by coming into here, add video source, and over here you could either pick your views. Like see, you've got picture in picture, you've got a split view A and B, you've got A and B side by side in a 16:9 format, or you've got the 2 views in a 9:16 format, which is vertical. So you've got a bunch of different layouts that you can do here. You can do 3 verticals, more 3 verticals, 3 views, let's see, A, B, C, but I stick with custom right here. But you also have other shit located in these. Like say I wanted to add a website. We'd come over here into your video sources and you'd add a website. And then you would just put it in here. Whatever it is, HTTP, whatever. Say you wanted, during the stream, you wanted that source in there to show off like you have a website. We'll just use 98 Arm Wrestling's website for example. I can plug that address into here, hit done, and it'll show up here. And when I click it on here, it will physically populate on the screen as a web browser source that you can move up and down, pick things, and explain to people, I don't know, where to subscribe, how to become a member, all that good stuff. So these little units are powerhouses in themselves, and I'm not sure why people talk shit on them, because I think they're pretty fucking awesome. I mean, you even got the ability to NDI. I can NDI for Christ's sake. That's basically a Cat 6. It comes through the internets, through a Cat 6 cable. And that's where you see all those PTZ type cameras, because this has built-in PTZ. So if I wanted to buy the NDI license, it costs $100, but I get it forever. And then I have one source that I can have a pan, tilt, zoom type camera, controlled physically from this. And then I can even put those controls on the YOLO deck, as shown in here somewhere. Right here, PTZ. And these are preset positions. So it's even easier. So you can set your positions already, and then hit one button here and it'll just change to whatever position you saved it at. I don't understand, Drew. I only imagine you're trying to be funny about something. I don't know. I don't get it. But I guess I don't have to. Yeah, could absolutely showcase a sponsor's website. You can showcase anybody's website. You could even, you see this stuff right here, SRT and SRT listener? Say you have a tournament, say, hey Supdog, say you have a tournament or some sort of super match series that you want to live stream. But you can't afford to get, I don't know, let's just say Neil Pickup. You can't afford to get Neil Pickup to commentate. So what you do is you pick, which one of these? Is it this one? It's this one. So basically I'd pick an SRT right here. Send that over to Neil, and then he'll port right into here. You just hit done. And that's your SRT right there. It's going to keep doing that because it's going to do that until somebody connects to it. And then that could be Neil behind his computer right here, commentating right on the screen. So what you could do is you could have build a scene like this, and then put a third one down here, and you can do the picture-in-picture, and he could be, you know, down here. But we delete that source because we don't need it. What else can you do? Any images, really, any PDFs that you have, any commercial videos. So, let's see. Yeah, right here. Boom. I mean, and it's weird. How come this video isn't jumping like when I did it over at when I played these commercials over at Latimer's? The instant replays are not hard. The way I have them set up on here. Hold on, I want to see if this goes done. Oh, okay. So when you set this like so, what you want to do is you can hit there and then you can hit switch. And then here's the switch. It switches to none, but you can pick the source. So I pick, oh, did it work? Yes, I did. To source. So watch when this video is done. It should automatically switch right over back to the double source. Well, apparently not. There, see? It did, eventually. But replays shouldn't be that hard at all, especially since I set it up here. So what you're going to do is, if you see something awesome, you hit capture replay. And what it does is, depending on what you have set, let's see, what the hell? Replay. Here we go. You put replay on and then you pick your replay settings. So this is it. This is what you would do. This is where you set the audio of that replay. If you want audio on, it's right there. You can turn it up, turn it down. You mute others when the replay goes on, so it mutes every other source that's still live. You can pick your replay speed and then the duration. So as soon as you hit capture replay, it's going to go 10 seconds in the past. And then it's going to save them. It's going to save them in a thing over here. Now, I can also put an intro on them, like here, a preset intro, and right here, well, that's an outro. So I can get rid of this, delete, and then I add an intro, and it would be Shoot to Thrill intro, or basically whatever you'd make for the replay. I'm just going to use this as an example. Done. And what it'll do is when you hit that replay, when you hit it here to replay that video will come on first. So it's meant to be a small little video to let everybody know it transitions from this scene to that, the intro video, and then it'll play the 10 or 20 seconds of replay that you have set. In this case, it would be 10 seconds. So you can do 20 seconds, done, something like that. You can even do a minute. So you know what I mean? A couple minutes, 2-3 minutes. And then just for the hell of it, you can just boom, capture replay. As soon as that match is over, capture replay. And you're good to go. Once you capture it, it'll save it over on the sides. This would be a lot easier if I had a couple sources. Let me fire up a video source. Alright, that one's shooting off. A video, give it a minute. It will connect. As you can see, it's trying to connect up top. There we go. And boom. There we go. So. Oh boy. What we got here? So let's see. We can do a replay. Right now we'll do 20 seconds. So it'll be here. Capture replay. Boom. Should have captured replay for about 20 seconds or whatever it is. And then once you come out there, bang, there it is. R1. So, we will see? And there you go. That's as easy as doing a replay right there. And I would hope that it'll Yeah, look at that. And it goes right back to the main source. So, we've got replay set, and that's pretty easy. So yeah, I mean, and I could have even added an outro to it, which would have been the same thing, the Shoot the Thrill. Done. So again, you play it. You know, something like that, instead of Shoot the Thrill, it says replay. What do you mean scorecards? You mean a scoreboard? Is that what you're asking? A scoreboard? So if you're talking about a scoreboard, then we can come over here to, you see this little button right here? Boop. Display scoreboard. Now, I built this scoreboard yesterday. There you go. There's my scoreboard. You set your colors, you can put the... Why the fuck isn't my scoreboard up on that screen? Oh, there we go. So there you go. And then it's as easy as, you know what I mean? Round one, you can set time, and then instead of a countdown, you can just, you know, ready, go! And then you can have a countdown of how long it is, as long as you're here to stop. And now you got, that was a six second round. Reset, boom, ready for the next one. So yeah, real-time scoreboard. Post fouls, pins, etc. Yeah, there's lots of things you can do with these. They're pretty amazing pieces of equipment. It's a great encoder. You know what I mean? Oh, check that out. Oh, this side. So I guess the right side shows, so people know that I'm like live or recording a video. Well, everything is shot on this one. So in between rounds, I can put up anything like this. So I can just, you know, I can put the B right back up, and you don't have to worry about seeing it because, you know, the scoreboard is hidden, even though you see it here, which is crazy to me. You know what I mean? So yeah, in between the rounds, you can just pop it like this, be right back, or whatever thumbnail you want. But in this case, it'll probably be a single source, like so. I'm going to redo this because I fucking hate the fact that I don't have the border there. And give me a second and I'll show you why. So, edit. As you can see here. Oh. So as you can see, I have to put it in here. Oh my God, work for my fingers. That looks like ass. I don't like it. Like I said, I gotta redo it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. See? I like it when it has a nice border around it. But what do you think? What do you guys think? I mean, yeah, that's really all I got to show on it. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm getting it ready for, Winter Blast. Obviously, that's not going to be the background because it's Winter Blast. It's not my deal. And I'm still unsure whether Matthias is going to do even all the super matches. If he's coming on Friday, if he's only doing Saturday, I don't know. So, but we'll play it by ear. No big deal. Doesn't really matter. We'll make it happen. Between Matthias and I, absolutely hell. Just Matthias himself would just make it fucking happen. The dude's an animal when it comes to production. Yeah, you can actually, you set this up the way you want it. That's the whole idea behind this. This is your production switcher. So you're orchestrating an entire production live rather than sitting behind the computer and editing a production, which they're better. But live, if you set it up post-production or pre-production, your post-production should be super quick. The only downfall of this unit is it does not have the capability of ISO recording. Now, do you understand what ISO recording is? I don't know what the acronym stands for. I just know that every single source and every single audio source is recorded in its own file. So even HDMI 1 that's here, right here, any video will be separated from the audio on the saved file. So you'll have just a file for video, you'll have just a file for audio for HDMI 1, so on and so forth. ISO recording is the way to go. You know what I mean? And even though I have 1 selected, it'll still do the same thing for 2 and whatnot. It'll still do that all for those. But on this unit, for recording, if I hit go live, it'll ask me if I want to record because I have a pretty big memory card in this thing. And it'll record what you're seeing here. You know what I mean? So it's easier if you have a single source to edit that type, but as soon as you start getting into non-ISO recording, into a multiple scene, it's really hard to cut that up. You know what I mean? People want a video with a single source. You know what I mean? Fill in the whole screen. Not just this. So they'd want this. That's the whole idea of ISO recording. It makes post-production way easier for editing. So that's why you'll never see me edit anything with a multiple source scene. It's only for live for me. Otherwise it's useless. Unless people want to see it like this. But you don't really have to because the live is already out there. Once you're done with the live, YouTube will render it and make it a complete video. So but I think that's about it, y'all. I'm not really sure how long I've been going. How long have we been going? I don't know. I have no idea. Either way, I think we're doing good. So I appreciate you all.